We are live. Cool.
Excellent.
So, Hemsworth, welcome to Sweden. Welcome to our humble little town of Norrköping. This is our ragtag bunch of up-and-coming bartenders. So, what I'm going to do, I'm going to come around. I'm going to set the scene for you guys, and then I'd love it if I'd love it if you could explain the concept of your drink, the Monarch. I'd also love if you could explain to them the concept, if you could explain ingredients, and also why you should enter Bacardi Legacy.
Yep.
And then
So
you guys be instructed to ask questions. Ask questions.
Yeah. Not hard ones. Essentially, so it started out, I was lucky enough, I did Bartender of the Year in Australia, won that one. And one of the perks of that was to go straight into the finals of Bacardi Legacy. So I kind of was in it before I had a choice to be in it, I guess. And yeah, so one of the drinks that I made in the speed round was actually the drink that I ended up entering to the competition. I was having a bit of a rough time thinking of, what I was going to do. I'm not really strong with promoting myself or, posting pictures and stuff. So I kind of asked some friends for some ideas, and they gave me names of other people to inspire me. And I was like, oh fuck, I'll just tell their story. So it started a bit like that, and now I'm telling everyone else's stories. And it's especially for younger bartenders coming up. I've heard from feedback that it's been quite inspiring to see other people that have been through it or been through some things already, and have someone to kind of look to and go, hey, what do I do when this happens? Or could you give me some advice, kind of thing. So it's kind of a nice little community that's kind of started there, which is awesome. Feels great because I didn't really have that. But yeah, the drink itself, I wanted it to be easily replicable, as that's the whole point of the competition. And kind of just realized that mandarins aren't exactly, they're quite seasonal. So in the middle of summer here in Australia, and there's no mandarins. So the finals are in a month and I've got no mandarins. So essentially we've done two different cocktails. So I've done an alternate with orange, but mandarin's the original there. But yeah, it's kind of like a learning experience that if you're going to do Legacy, make sure your ingredients are available all around the world, all around the year. It's one of the things that I really wasn't, expecting, prepared for, I guess, because it has to be something that's mints everywhere all the time kind of thing. Oranges, grapefruits, all everywhere all the time. Just little things of making sure that, first off, and it's got to be idiot proof. If people are making it everywhere, if they're bastardizing your drink, it's going to be oh, that drink's not so good, but when I make it, it's tasty. So those are two things that I thought are quite important. Do you want me to just take you through it, I guess, what's in it?
Yeah, go for it.
Okay. So essentially it's a Bacardi white base, so 45 mils of that with 15 mils of Dom Benedictine. I kind of based it on daiquiri because it's, in my mind, the perfect cocktail. And so the Dom Benedictine in place of the sugar, 20 mils of lime, 30 mils of mandarin juice, and the peel of the mandarin. The peel of the mandarin goes with basil leaves in there as well. And the idea was the basil and the mandarin are just two ingredients that I've got such strong aromatic connection to. Whenever I smell mandarin, I'm in high school or primary school again. Whenever I smell basil, I'm with my grandma or I'm at home again. So that was my kind of ties to the drink, but that also just worked really well. It just seemed to kind of evoke an emotion, a visceral emotional response from people just from the smells. Everyone's got a memory of this or seem to have a memory of those flavors. So that was the idea there. Essentially, if you've got those small mandarins, you can just chuck the whole thing in there and muddle it because it turns out to be more or less 30 mils. But for the sake of consistency, I measure out 30 mils. But yeah. Anything else?
How did you create the story behind the drink?
It kind of came because it came through asking other people for help because I was a bit unsure as to what to do. And I mean, I started off going, okay, what do I want to leave behind as like a lesson or like a legacy, I guess, essentially is the best word for it. And it was that to kind of a bit more of support for each other, I guess, and not like a mentorship kind of thing, but uh, giving like people a like, you know, a bunch of people that go, hey, these people have done this, this, and this. Maybe someone's more into wine and they go, hey, this is a really kick-ass winemaker. If you have any questions, talk to this person. And like, it's kind of creating a bit more of a network in that respect. And also in response to frustration where so many people saying to me, there's no good female bartenders out there. I'm like, well, that's bullshit, first of all. They're just probably not like making as much noise, or they're not like as you know, as prominent in your face kind of thing. So first of all, making a blatant list is kind of a hey, fuck you, there's heaps of us kind of thing. As well as going in a way, hey, this is, you know, this is what's out there. It's not just an Australian thing, it's everyone from everywhere. And it's not essentially just a female thing as well. Like I feel like it could be interpreted as an exclusive thing. But as I said, it's like for allies as well, like just for people that we're all got the same idea of like, you know, all being on an even playing field. You know, more of a common sense, I guess, background for everyone. Yeah, and just like being, I lost my train of thought. Fuck. Sorry, yeah, my cat walked into the room and I was like, oh, cute. But yeah, just giving someone like, she is really cute. Just giving people like a bit more direction and stuff. Cause I know like starting out, I felt succumbing to like bullying from people who were a lot more experienced than me, and just really struggled to find someone to go, how do I deal with like sexual harassment or like intimidation or stuff like that? Like not everyone deals with that, but it is quite a problem. So having that feedback of going, hey, when you said, don't let this affect you, here's some ways to deal with it, it really helped me. So if a cocktail can send a message out or at least celebrate the people that are sending a message out, that's what I want to do.
So I'm just finishing with right here. Can you
Yes.
explain to guys why you want to compete in legacy and the benefits of competing in legacy?
Can you repeat that? I can't hear you. Microphone's on the other side.
Can you just explain to the guys the benefits of competing in legacy?
Benefits of competing in legacy, if I heard correctly.
Yes.
Yeah. I've made heaps of friends like doing this kind of thing, like, you know, figuring out we work with the same people, like, you know, making connections around the world. So if you are lucky enough or you get to travel to different places, you've immediately got like a safe place or like a friend or like a contact in different areas. As well as that, just like just countries that you wouldn't, I guess, being on the total other side of the world, but there's a lot out there that I'm not in contact with, I'm not up to date with. I don't know trends that are going on in like India. Like someone in India messaged me and they're going, this is a huge thing, what are your thoughts on it? I'm like, I've never heard of that in my life. So it's, you know, getting everyone on the same page and just again like really networking. It's a very it's larger than what I expected, like to get into it and have these people going, hey, I'm top 3 in Peru or something, and you're like, I don't even know where that is on the map, man. Like I'm not very good with geography. Like it's a very stupid thing to say. I swear I'm good at other things. But yeah, just that kind of sense of the world of bartending becoming smaller. So like you can go around to somewhere else in the world and you're just like, hey, I remember you. You like help me out with that kind of thing. So yeah, I'd feel more confident traveling as well, which is a great plus side to entering a competition, which is not, yeah. Plus free holiday if I win.
I've got the drink here.
Yeah.
Nice. Let's just showcase what he's drinking. Here you
Yay!
go. Hello.
Wow.
Cheers. I think it's a really interesting experiment that we're doing with Bacardi Legacy, and one thing that I'm finding is that the overall social impact of what we're doing and how we're doing it, it's so much bigger than what's inside the glass.
Exactly, right?
And to put things into context for you, we are in the equivalent size of Penrith, of a city, right?
Yeah.
And the fact that we're speaking here, you're over in Sydney, we're here in North Shopping. I think this speaks volumes to what Legacy can do to bring people together as a community.
Exactly. Yeah.
What we can share and how we can grow. So it's a really, I feel very proud to be able to.
Yeah, it's pretty cool, eh?
Yeah, mate. To show you, Lagerquist, you're never gonna come.
I'll have to now. Now I've got all you guys here. You guys all can show me around. You.
Yeah, you'll never visit this place. You'll never come to North Shopping, but in the smallest way, you've made an imprint here. And
well, technically, I've visited. Now I'm here.
Yeah, mate. Yeah. So, guys, do you have any questions for Jen at all? Du kan prata svenska, då kommer jag översätta det in.
Det är väl lugnt.
For the first time, when we're starting to compete, and for those who haven't done it so much, do you have any do's and don'ts while competing in front of a judge or judges?
Yeah.
Recommend.
Find your quirks. Like I found finding something like different, or like, it's so stupid to say be yourself, but shit, like a bit of personality goes a long way. I did Bartender of the Year 6 times before I won it, and I failed miserably heaps of times. Like just every time I did it, I learned something new about either performing on stage or holding an audience, or just how I look, like how like your body language portrays, just what it says about you. Are you a competent like bartender? Are you a competent or confident person? Just a lot of those like subtle cues as well. Making eye contact with judges all comes from a lot of practice, and you could do it every day in the bar. Like essentially when you're talking to your guests, they're not under your control, but you have a lot of power in how their night goes and how they have their experience. So I always like, but my favorite test is to make myself better is someone that's a really difficult customer and you're just like, fuck this guy, like I want to kick this guy out, I hate him so much, is turning that around to be your mate. Like if you can leave with the handshake or something, it's like you've almost like mind melded them into, not being your friend, but like you've done your job really well. If you can make someone that you hate go, that was a great bartender, that was a great drink, that was a great experience, thank you, then you're like, cool, fuck off, never come back, but I did my job good. And it's like kind of sense of self-satisfaction that it's my little favorite trick to practice, but it depends how cranky I am that day.
It's a big thing here in Sweden. Swedes by nature are quite closed in, and the hospitality scene here, it's burgeoning, it's growing, it's kind of at its grassroots stage now, and that's even more so where we are as a city. So I think that question's really valid for some do's and don'ts of presenting and finding your quirk and trying to find ways around that. That's really key, man. And guys, you guys to understand who Jenna is and the market that she's coming out of. Being top 4 in Australia is massive. Here in Sweden we had quite a small portion of entrants. In Australia, they're consistently getting into the high hundreds, into the thousands of entries a year, and these are world-class bartenders from even more world-class venues. So, congratulations to you, Jen. I know we've met in the past in passing. And I'm super proud of you, man. I'm really, really stoked to see you crushing it over there.
Oh, thanks. Well, hopefully we get to meet in Amsterdam.
Oh, I have very strong plans of winding up on
Jesus Christ.
So, do you have any questions at all? No? Fernando?
The only question I have for you is you work now for Bacardi. You are going to make a cocktail with Bacardi, like legacy. But if I make your own, you make your own decisions in your bar, and you make your own idea of how a bar is have to be. And if you think about now the modern cocktail, not the cocktail we're making from the end of the 1800s up to the 22, I think 1900s. And everybody is still working with a twist of everything, but there is so many other things who are just coming up now, who are really, really big. And bartending today start to be a real thing, who is more not about the old-fashioned bartending, not about to make maybe 100 different kinds of Negronis, because that it seems to be Sweden. They make a Negroni with everything. And I'm a Spanish myself. I think Negroni don't have to be spoiled. Is make with gin, and that's how I want to make my Negroni. But there is so many very good spirits. I don't care about how much they cost. I can make a cocktail with anything. How do you want to make your own bar?
Well, essentially, first and foremost, if you've taken that basis of mastering your classics, and I mean, like, you can, it's been proven you can actually teach a robot to make a perfect cocktail, but you can't teach it to make a joke. Like, essentially, you want it to you want your classics to be there. You need a great palate to be able to discern flavors and what goes well together. But if you haven't got, like, if you can't make a good martini, then what's the point of having a bar? Like, you should be able to nail everything that's been done perfectly and be able to do that, but still provide an experience where everyone can come in and go, hey, I feel comfortable here. Hey, I feel I'm going to have a good time here. Hey, I can meet someone here. So it's finding that good balance between being very good at what's been done and finding a way to do it yourself without trying to reinvent the wheel. Like, again, I'm not trying to make a cocktail with 20 ingredients just because I can, when I could make something that's been done before very well, but still, you know, have a bit of personality and give someone a great experience. I think that's a bit more important to me. So my bar would be ideally focused classically, but just a really comfortable place to just go with your friends, and you could feel like you could sit there and not have that awkward time in between drinks where you're like, should we go somewhere else? You're just like, no, what's next? We want to stay here. This is fun. So I guess that's the dream, yeah.
Thank you.
Cool, man. So we're gonna mosey on. The seminar. But mate, it's been an absolute honor having you on here, and we'll speak real soon. Yeah.
Yeah. Thank you so much. No, my pleasure. Thanks for listening, guys. I hope I didn't bore you.
Nice, and congratulations on the drink, man. It's fantastic.
Thank you so much, guys. Enjoy it. Yeah. Have a lovely day/night.
And you get to put this in your marketing campaign. So yeah. All right, man. Okay, well, I'll speak to you real soon.
Beautiful. Thanks, guys. Bye.
Say hi to Renato for me.
I will.
All right. Bye.
Ciao.